That's Christy.
And that's Leslie.
And we're going indie. Yay!
Okay, Leslie, I have a very important question for you.
Okay,
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Have you allowed anyone, like aside from myself and like your editor, read the book yet?
Yes, my husband just finished it yesterday, actually. And
I
he
don't
read
think he counts.
it. He counts. But no, I did have other like super early readers, but no one's, it's only been finished for about a couple of weeks. So yeah, so I didn't. Some other people did read the first 3 or 4 chapters, and then I did have another person read the whole book before it was edited as well. So yes, a few, very few. I need more.
You do need more. So who are you going to have read it? I mean, like it releases in May, and
Yes.
then like everyone in the world can read it.
Yeah.
But who are you going to let read it before then?
Well, I don't know. I think I need some help with that. No, I do know there are some people who have said, I will definitely. There's a woman that I met at a book conference or fair that we both were at, and she said, "I'll read your book. I'll be a early reader for you." And and I've got a launch team kind of happening. So all the launch
Okay.
team members, it is happening. I hired someone because as if you watch some other episodes, you'll find out that I got a traditional contract and it's taking up a lot more time than I expected it to. At the
Yes.
same time as I'm
Yes.
trying to launch this book. So I hired a launch team coordinator and she will be handling that. And so I will have a launch team. And so there will be probably at least 30 something people that will get an early copy of the book, an e-copy. So
Okay.
hopefully that will happen soon. And then I want but I'm hoping to have maybe some endorsements. That would be nice.
You could probably get an endorsement from Christiane Hunter. I hear she likes your book.
Well, that would
Um,
be fantastic.
but yeah, so endorsements are a funny thing. Like I am trying to think back to in pre-author days, um, if I ever bought a book based on an endorsement.
Interesting.
And I'm trying to remember, like, if I ever saw somebody, like, on the cover saying, "This book is fabulous," big name author. Did that make me buy the book? I am trying to remember that, but that's more than 10 years ago now. And so I don't remember.
Yeah, and you know what I'm thinking is like there are some authors now that I read, I like their books, and so if they say read this book, I will a lot of times I will at least try out the author that they are suggesting because I like what they write. So that
Mhm.
is a thing. But other than like Oprah, um, or Reese Witherspoon, which I mean I might send my book to Reese, so I don't see why not. Um, why not? If you're gonna go big, go all the way, right? So but other than that, those are the kinds of people, I guess. So I don't know. Do you think that who or do you think it's a good idea even?
I don't know. So I managed to get actually a pretty big name on my debut book. I managed to get Jennifer McQuiston, who was a General Market Regency author that was in a local writers group with me. So she had been supportive of me, like coming up through the ranks and like whatever. She knew me personally, and she read my book for endorsement. So I do have on those noble masquerades. There, she's right there. They were like really happy to have her because New York Times best-selling author, and this came out like right when she was like popping off, like lots of, she's not writing anymore now, but when she at this point she was really big, and so they were really happy to have her and put her name everywhere. But like honestly, I don't know that unless you've got something that really stands out, I don't know how useful they are. Um, and then I think, and this is no shame to any author who does this. Like personally, I'm very selective of who I endorse. Like I will only endorse things if I'm like, yes, this fits what my readership would want. I will
Mhm.
put my name. Um, Now I'll share a whole lot of other stuff, like share it on my socials, share on my, but to say yes, I'm giving an endorsement to this. I'm pretty stingy with those. Um, but some people are very free
Yeah.
with the endorsements. In which
So
case I'm like, that's great and it's very supportive. And I know I love that for I love that especially for debut authors and for, new authors and stuff to have that stamp of like I believe in you is huge. But from a reader perspective, I don't know if it means much because they see their name a lot. So
right, right.
I
Well,
don't
so if
know.
you did you send your whole like book to ask for an endorsement, or did you ask for an endorsement and just like send a proposal or query or something
No,
short?
you send the whole book. If you're asking for endorsement, you send the whole book because the theory is that they have read it and liked it and are therefore putting their stamp of approval on this book. Like you send the whole book. So this is, I will say, having been on the receiving end of endorsement requests more so than I usually do not have my ducks in a row enough to request endorsements. Because you do have to finish the book a certain amount ahead of time to give space to get those. Okay. So I have not asked for them in a while, but I received requests pretty often. Um, and you send an email to whoever you want, man. Go big. Like you said, go big. As long as you are respectful and polite, like they are not going to have any problem with the fact that you asked. Like
Right.
nobody's going to have any problem with that. And you just it has like the back cover blurb in it along with the date you would need to have it read, like
Mhm.
have the endorsement back. All of that information is in the email and you say, would you be interested, may I send you a copy?
Okay.
And they'll either say no, I'm not interested, or they'll say like yes, I'll read it, but I'm not going to guarantee anything. um so or they'll respond whatever it is they want to respond back to it. And then if but don't send your whole manuscript unsolicited.
Okay. That's what I'm asking.
This is just like querying.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Because when I
So when you
open my inbox and there's a whole manuscript sitting there, it feels creepy.
yeah, no, I got it. So if when you do send it, would you just like send like a book funnel link, or would you send like some kind of like how would you send it to them, practically speaking?
Usually you'd ask what format would you like it in.
Okay.
um like, because I'll be honest, some of them want arcs. Like some of them want, like, you can
A
get
real
the
book.
proof copies. You can get the proof copies printed. Like, so only send that if it's really worthwhile. And like you could send Reese. You could put the money in to send Reese a proof copy.
So can you get an approved copy from Ingram before it's like ready to go?
Yeah,
Me.
you can buy copies before it releases. And the Zon will let you buy up to 5 proof copies, which I have the pixels and paint somewhere around here, but I don't know where it is. But it comes with this line across that says proof copy on it. Like it'll be printed across, like all the way across the thing that says proof copy on it. Um, which is good because that's like if you want to, because some people do that for their last edit. They want to edit and read it like it would be in hand, and they'll mark it and mark changes and things almost like proofing, like literally
Mhm.
proofing. uh, but you can order those. You can get to print copies of your book before it's released. Yes, everybody else can't, but you can.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. One more. Oh, so one more question about people, extra people, like, and it's kind of like more like reviewers, I guess, not endorsers. But I know
Yeah.
that like there's NetGalley. How does that work? Is that something you should do, not do?
So neck alley is a different thing, and I am like, we really should have a guest on for this because this is part you're getting into the part that I'm really really bad at. Okay.
Well, give
But
us your top 10 and then we'll get a guess.
yeah, so if you are really good at this, like pop in the comments and we will do a
Yes.
second episode with a
Yes.
guest on. So reviewers, like early reviewers, like your launch team, like stuff like that. But if you are wanting to try to get to industry reviewers and stuff like that, like I don't know honestly how you get it to library journal and stuff like that. I
Okay.
don't know. I know they do want to get it like so many months ahead of time, which is one of the very big difficulties for indies is we don't want to sit on a finished book for 4 months. That's 4 months of not making money on a
Right.
finished book, you
Okay.
know. And a lot of the big industry ones, that's part of the reason for why the traditional cycle is so long. Like if you're doing trade size, like when I was with Bethany House, I was really finished, like completely finished, like copy edits, everything, like almost 4 months prior to launch date. But that's because of the review cycle, the industry reviewers. It has to be ready in time to send to the library journal and like all the well, I don't, Romantic Times isn't reviewing anymore, but at the time it was, and all of those industry reviewers, they want it so far in advance.
Okay.
Um, but if you are looking for just people who review, like your bigger reviewers, like you would get in NetGalley, um, there are a couple ways to do it. Now, the thing is to do your own NetGalley posting, it's pretty pricey. Like NetGalley is an expensive service. I did NetGalley for Pixels and Paint. And I don't know that it was super beneficial for me as an established author, the way I did it. Um, Now it could be really good. The way I did it could be really good for you as a debut author, which
Okay.
is I actually joined IBPA. It's the Independent Booksellers and Publishers Association, something like that. IBPA. Um, I have let my membership lapse because I am lazy, but I'm not lazy, but I just missed it. I missed doing the renewal, but it's one of the memberships that I do keep because it comes with a lot of discounts. Okay. As,
Oh.
as an independent publisher, there's a lot of discounts on it that you just get with it. The first year it when I first did it, my first book with it, like it paid for its membership within 3 months with the discounts that
Great.
I got on all the
Okay.
services. But they have a NetGalley program where you can post through their NetGalley account. They keep a NetGalley account,
Right.
um, and they will post your book through it. Now, here's the thing that didn't work for me. Why it didn't work for me and would be working okay for you.
Right.
um, when you post through them, you have to post it open, meaning anybody can say, I want to review this book and download it and read it. Okay. That doesn't work so well for me as an established name because I have a lot of readers with NetGalley accounts.
Okay.
And now they all got early copies of the book.
And they didn't buy
Um,
it.
Whereas if you do your own account, you can put it on approval status and people can apply to get it and you can say yes or no. Um, but if you go through IBPA, it has to be open because it's actually being posted by IBPA. It's not being posted by you. Your book is under IBPA on NetGalley. Um, so like that's an option. But so NetGalley, I think to do it individually, I think you need to be hitting a certain number of sales and expecting a certain level to make it cost effective to do it
Mhm.
individually. So like I did not do it for Clara. I did not do NetGalley for Clara. Um, and so because it wasn't cost effective and I didn't
Right.
want to do open again. I think open kind of bit me on Pixels and Paint. And so there's that. But I think there are other ways to get the launch team is good. Having a launch team that is going to do those early reviews, like getting a push to get early reviews out there from your readers is super helpful.
Okay. Okay. So if you do the open thing, because can you put like a deadline? Like you only have like 4 weeks and then it like shuts off. So now people can't
Yeah.
be like, okay.
So like Pixels and Paint was available for 3 months.
Okay. Okay.
And then it was not available anymore. Once you have signed up for it, you can still go in and put your review in and do all that kind of stuff. But It was only up for 3 months.
Okay, sounds good. I'm trying to see. Do I have any more? Do you have any more advice or question? Do I have any more questions? I don't think I do.
Like for early readers, I think one of the things to be very clear about is when you contact your launch team or when you are taking applications for your launch team, um, is to really send expectation, be really clear to them, particularly about expectations. Um, and this is some early readers think they're beta readers,
Mm. Yeah, I don't
and
want any advice.
they give you advice. Um,
It's too
so
late.
when you're picking your early readers, like really be thinking more like about reviewers. Like I want somebody to go tell readers about this book. Don't tell me about it. I'm already done. Like
Yeah.
go tell like you're looking for somebody. Early readers are to tell other readers about the book. They don't want to you don't need anybody else telling you about the book. You've already picked those people. Um so when you're picking your early readers, make sure it's going to be people who can tell other people about this book. I mean, but yeah, shoot for the moon. Like, why not? You know, it, it's sometimes it's harder to find early readers than you think it would be, though. I
Oh,
will
I
warn you
know.
there.
I told my launch
Yeah.
team person, I'm like, and we
Um,
should have her on. We should definitely have her on to talk about launch teams because she's a wealth of
yeah.
knowledge. Um,
Uh-huh.
and I did say to her, I was like, I don't think I can get 35 people. And she's like, oh, it'll be fine. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, so like I went on this couple of year journey where I was like, I'm going to reach out and find women's ministers, and
Oh,
gift
yeah.
them with a book. Or I'm going to find church librarians and say, can I send you a free copy of this book? Or I'm going to find I looked, send out requests for like readers or like influence. I mean, I guess kind of looking for influencer things, but early readers from like horseback riding groups and stuff, like when Winning the Gentleman came out. Um, crickets,
Yeah.
crickets. Like,
Crazy.
it was like I'm trying to give you a free book.
They just want to ride
So,
horses. They didn't want to read books about
like,
it.
I don't know, but I mean, like, no, like I can't. Like, I was like, I'm gonna give 10 boxes to women's ministers. Like, I gave away 5 because I couldn't
Wow.
find 10 who would take it.
Okay. So that's not an option.
So,
We're not doing that one.
just like I guess it's like look for people who want to share books. Like that's my thing is like I was looking for people who like would be like, hey, like I think this book would be interesting to you, but look for people who want to share books and like
Okay.
let them be your early reader. Yeah.
I think that's the number one tip. Like if they're not a reader already and they're not already sharing a little bit, at least, they're probably not going to suddenly just become a book promoter.
Yeah. No. And I mean, the things like if you do want anything from them, I would say ask them like, what are the scenes that really pulled you in? Like if you had favorite quotes and stuff, because
Oh yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
can't see it anymore. But
Yeah.
getting good pull quotes for ads and things like your early readers are the best sources for that.
All right, I'm writing that down too. Yay!